Hey there, Omaha. Welcome into another episode of Restaurant Hoppen. I'm your host, Dan Hoppen, and you might find this hard to believe, but my wife and I, we go out to eat a fairly significant amount. So we've got a pretty long list of restaurants on our roster that we can go to. So if we're ever getting pizza or burgers or seafood or something like that, we have a lot of restaurants that we run through where it's like, oh, should we go here? Should we go here? Should we go here? When we decide we want Indian food, we know exactly where we're going. There's no debate. And that's not to throw shade at any other Indian restaurants in Omaha, because there are some very good ones. But the people who are sitting to my right have created something really special at Kinarra. This is Ashish and Kim Sathyan from Kinarra. Guys, thank you so much for coming on the show tonight.
Thank you so much, Dan, for having us.
So, you guys have been on the podcast twice before, but like we were talking about before the show, the last time was in July of 2021. Things have changed pretty significantly since then. You've moved into a new space. You added the chef's home table. You have another child. Like, your family's changed completely. And we'll get into all that, but I want to start just as a baseline for maybe somebody who's listening, watching, even if someone's here and they're trying your food for the first time. What do you think is it about Kinarra that just sets it apart from other Indian restaurants?
I mean, Kim, you want to start?
I think it's because we're South Indian. I just think South Indian just has the best food. So, yeah, I think that's what mainly sets us apart is just how good our South Indian food is. Which is what you try with the beef fry and the biryani. Those are both Southern India, even though the butter chicken ran out already.
So what like classifies Southern Indian food? And I know specifically food from Kerala, which is where you're from, Ashish.
Yep. So basically we are focusing on like my specialty, like or the food I grew up eating. So it's from Kerala. It's called Southern food. And
like the coconut milk.
Yeah, another thing we compared to the other part of India, we eat a lot of beef, pork, those kind of stuff. But if you go to northern India, cow they believe as a god, but we believe it's so yummy. And we are in Nebraska, so we found the best beef. So I thought, okay, so we should do something different than other places. So we still beef fry, the South Indian food like the fish curry, fish mogli, the fish polichi, those kind of stuff. So you don't find those kind of stuff in most of the places. So that's make us different, and we also use a lot of local protein. So
I do think everybody missed that joke. I'm kind of here just to help translate for Ashish.
Yeah,
he goes, in North, they believe the cow is a god. In the South, we believe the cow is really yummy.
And we are in Nebraska, so we get the best one.
Yeah, so we get the best beef here in Nebraska. So
we respect the beliefs of the North. We love the beliefs of the South, because the beef on your menu, very, very good. And the beef fry that you served tonight, I was able to snag a piece as good as always. No surprise there. Yes, it is definitely the food and the style of cuisine, I think, that helps set Kinarra apart. But I think so much of it's just you guys. And I love the story of how you two got together. Can you share that? Like, you can go as in-depth or as little in-depth as you want to, but just tell me, how did you guys come to meet each other and grow your relationship?
Actually, we've been saying this thing over and over, how we met through Kim's sister. She's right there.
Give a wave, Dana.
Yeah. So because of her, even though she don't like much Indian food, like a spicy thing, but she used to come at the place I used to work back in days, and she get that burrito because,
It was really good.
Yeah, so then she brought Kim to that place, and we met Kim, and Kim was in India that time. I mean, she just came back from India, and she was like eagerly looking for an Indian guy, I think.
Yeah.
Then also she liked Indian food, so both came together and we met, right?
Yeah. And he asked me if I wanted to go watch one of his cricket games, and I was just like, you're so handsome, and your food tastes like this, so of course. Of course.
That's a made-up joke, I like it.
So I'm curious, just the dynamics between a husband-wife team that's working in a restaurant together. How does running a restaurant, like what has that done for both the restaurant and for your marriage? How do you think that dynamic kind of works into running a restaurant?
This depends.
I wouldn't recommend it.
How so?
Like,
I think
I think everything just kind of bleeds together. He'll be like, you know, I need you to make a Facebook post. It's like, well, I need you to do the dishes. I need you to change the baby. Like, I didn't make a Facebook post because you were, yeah. So I think everything just kind of runs together. And
it's actually fun. So.
Yeah.
But it's not easy too.
It's not easy, yeah.
Yeah, I would imagine that there are definitely fun parts, and obviously the person that you marry is your favorite person, and the more time you get to spend with them, that's a blessing. But yeah, I think, Kim, what you said, like when you don't get that separation of work and personal life, when those two things start to bleed together, that can be difficult as well. Mm-hmm. So I can see that. Mm-hmm. So how is the dynamic changed? Now you have 2 young kids as opposed to 1 when you opened Kinarra. How do you run a restaurant and keep everything going and continue to grow your family at the same time?
I don't know. I think just by the skin of our teeth.
Kim's mom and sisters, they all help?
The mom and sisters, they help a lot.
I mean, sometimes
they
I want to
babysit us
go.
all the time. And
Sometimes I want to leave the house and here you go, the baby is crying. So Kim is in the shower, so you have to choose between baby or you want to go to work. So.
Well, you're obviously not going to leave if I'm in the shower. Like, he's not just going to leave. But yeah. Or like things like today, it was just like, I'm taking a shower. Oh, I had to wash my hair today for this podcast. So I was like,
we got a hair washing for the podcast?
I'm like, today's a hair washing day. I'm like,
after a month, I believe.
Yeah. I'm like, figure your stuff out. I'm doing this.
Just kidding. But yeah, hair wash was right.
Yeah, I needed a hair wash. But those showers obviously take a lot longer, so.
And here is the 2 kids, boom, boom, boom. I said, okay, let's go to Peloton. I was doing that and they were playing around. So sometimes they both want to sit on the bike and bike. Then it's kind of hard. Sometimes I put like this and do it. So you get lifting the weight, biking, your wife is showering, you're ready. Extra workout.
Yeah.
It's dad life right there.
Yeah.
All right, enough with the sappy stuff. Let's get back to the food. So you told me some of the aspects of the cuisine in Kerala, some of the things that make it stand out and make it special. I want to zoom back a little bit further. Just Indian food in general, I feel like there are a lot of generalities and maybe even some misconceptions about it. What are some misconceptions that you guys hear about Indian food, whether it's in your restaurant or just talking to other people, that you'd like to take a chance to just correct right now?
That was a big question.
You know, I think that one of the biggest ones is that it's all heavy. And I would disagree with that. There's definitely times that I don't want to eat heavy, and I'm like, well, definitely don't get, the stuff made with cream. But like our mushroom curry is really light, and our mole, tarkadal, it's all really light, and it's really healthy for you too. I mean, you can see all the appropriation of turmeric that Ashish gets very annoyed at, but it's like that's people are taking it by the capsules just because of how healthy it is for you, right, Ashish?
Yeah, you just eat Indian food. It's not good going to Whole Foods and buy the capsule. No, come to Indian place anywhere. Everyone use the turmeric. So you get a dinner, you get the healthy stuff, right?
Yeah.
I feel like that and curry powder. Everyone they see the little curry powder thing at the store and they're just like, oh, that's what restaurants are using too.
No, that's fake.
Not so much.
We only use curry powder for our soup. I don't know where people get, but it's good for the beginners when they want to try something different. Put that in the chicken or something, you can make curry, but the making curry is like a time, but you use so many different spice. So that's make it different.
For sure.
Not just that pack of curry powder.
So Kinarra opened in early 2020, like right before the pandemic and everything shut down. I think you guys opened like a week or two before things kind of got crazy in Omaha. How have you seen Omahans' knowledge about Indian food and kind of diners' just overall understanding of Indian food change over the last couple of years?
Oh, there is a big change. So the thing is, what made big difference for us, I think, supporting the local farmers and putting the in Kerala cuisine in our menu. That's a big thing, right, Kim? So I'm not much into northern food, or my knowledge is not that great with northern cooking. So I know the basic popular dishes because butter chicken was my favorite. That's why I developed that recipe. Tikka masala is not even my favorite, but it's helped us to pay the rent. We sell that much. So, but I want to do something different. Like I always want to eat Kerala food every day. So then I found out there is so many things you can get here locally sourced. So during COVID, so we start doing those all, that's changed people the way they look at the Indian food or their style. So that's actually really helped.
Are there any local producers or farmers that you particularly like? Any that you want to shout out?
Oh yeah, I love Morgan Ranch Wagyu beef. That's
Morgan Ranch, yep.
Then the Plum Creek Farms, John's Natural, and the Flavor Country Farms, and then one more.
Miller Dornum.
Yeah,
Miller Dorman.
we used to do that, but now it's less. But Big Prana, microgreens, that's what we use for our garnishes now. Then sometimes, I forgot the name. I think that's it.
Okay. I love what you said about people starting to expand and order some different dishes, because I know the last time I had you guys on, butter chicken and chicken tikka masala were the number one sellers on the menu with a bullet. Like there was no question. And you said those are the things that, excuse me, that keep the restaurant open. They keep the lights on, but it's the specials from Kerala and, some of the stuff that's a little bit more a part of your history that you really love cooking. Now that Kinarra is more established and people have a better understanding of what it is, and you've kind of built that trust with them, have you started to see sales tip a little bit more into some of those traditional dishes and a little bit less butter chicken and chicken tikka masala?
Butter chicken, tikka
They'll
masala.
always pay the bills. They're always going to be number
That's
one. It
always
doesn't
the top
matter.
seller, butter chicken. Always. But I can see the other thing, because the amount of coconut milk and cream we buy from the store. That means we're selling a lot of South Indian dishes, especially grandma's fish and mango curry, moilies, and the beef fry. Also now we sell a lot pork cheek vindaloo, because the weather is cold. So the vindaloo is going as a comfort food.
Yeah,
so
that vindaloo, that'll warm you from the inside out. And those pork cheeks are just so unctuous. That's one of my favorite dishes that
and
you
the
have.
goats too. Actually, people are changing. So it's really going up all the Kerala food sale.
How exciting is that for you guys to see?
Oh, I really want to stop selling so many things in our menu sooner. Then we want to change to more Kerala, local. So
He's very happy. I think that you're just the happiest you are when you're cooking Kerala food.
yeah. After this podcast, I'm gonna go home and cook more.
So you guys have a very solid base menu with probably 30, 35 items on it, but you're constantly offering new specials like duck mapas and oyster mushroom curry and the fall, which I'm not sure if it's on the menu right now, but it has been recently. Yes, it's on right now. Oh, I love the fall. Not for the faint of heart. You got to love spicy food for that. What's your inspiration for the specials? How are you coming up with those?
So it's depend on, what I go for that day. I feel like, sometimes I seen something on social media, or sometimes I miss eating this at home. Then I said, okay, I'm gonna do that. And other option, what special available on the market. So these two, the main thing. Especially it's when I wake up and I see something, or I think about something, I really want to eat this today, or I want to serve this tomorrow. Then boom, we're gonna do this tomorrow. That's the main inspiration.
Do you ever make any suggestions, Kim?
Oh,
always.
Yeah, I'm a big foodie, and I crave a lot of his food too. So, he's right. Pretty much always. It's whatever we're craving, whatever I want. Yeah.
Yeah, the special's all about what I'm missing. So I'm gonna do that.
Okay. So we've talked about getting people to expand their palates a little bit past some of the really well-known dishes and get into some more of the Kerala cuisine. What are some dishes that you guys would recommend for anybody who's here right now? I mean, they're getting to try a few of them, but for anyone, like other dishes on the menu, or for someone who's not here and they're listening or watching, what are some other dishes that you would say, hey, come into Kinarra, try this. I think you're really going to like it.
So the always my favorite, I would say butter chicken and the Kerala parota. Sorry, beef fry and the Kerala parota.
Yes.
That's the top dish from Kerala because that's what we eat all the time. Beef fry parota, everywhere in this. Even doesn't matter 5-star resort or restaurant or local, they always sell the parota beef. It's like a buddies. Then the vindalu, either pork cheek or lamb shank, those are really good. Then the fish pullage on the weekends.
Mm-hmm.
But eventually we're gonna do with the whole fish. So
yeah, if we ever have a whole fish special,
that's
you should really get that.
The whole
It's
fish,
really good.
Branzino or red snapper.
During the chef's tables, we switched. When Dan had it, we had this super spicy curry that his grandma made. But then we switched to branzino in like a coconut milk base and a whole bunch of other seasonings, and it is so good. It's like, oh my God, I could eat it every day my whole life. I think it's just fantastic.
But all I want to say, people risk your life and eat some bone-in fish. Don't be like a picky. Are you going to eat only fillet of salmon? No. Life is changing. World is changing. Get something adventurous. You're going to live only once. Try something different.
You only live once, so order fish with bones in it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Enjoy your life.
Words to live by. If you don't take anything else from the podcast tonight, remember that.
Don't eat always korma and tikka masala. It's going to be there forever. So,
a couple other dishes that I would recommend, just that Sarah and I have really enjoyed. The shrimp moile I think Sarah orders that just about every single time. Either that or salmon. She absolutely loves it. You already mentioned the pork cheek vindaloo, which I'm a huge fan of. Or someone should just come in and get Thali. Because that's the way to experience everything. For someone who hasn't had Thali, it is a traditional feast that features several smaller portions of several different dishes, which can include like tandoori chicken, rice pudding, chicken tikka masala butter chicken, and it comes with rice and sauces and naan. But it's not just like a sampler platter like you might expect. This is like something that's deeply rooted in Indian cuisine and Indian culture. Can you guys just tell me a little bit more about Thali and kind of the history behind it and why you felt like you had to have it on the menu?
Kim, you want to go for it?
You can talk about it.
Thali is kind of one of the popular dish we serve in India. So every state has their own version of Thali, some sort. If you come to Kerala, we serve in banana leaf. But if you go to other state, they serve in the Thali, what we had. So there was a time in Omaha food lovers, people are going crazy about the flights. And I was thinking, people are going to get a flight ticket free. Then I realized, no, it's about the flights you make with the curries. And then somebody requested, you're going to make a curry flight. And I said, you don't want to do that. Then I said, okay, we're going to do actually Thali. Then that's where we put it. It's like a traditional northern Indian cuisine we use. But we add 1 or 2 Kerala dishes too. So that's like a basic, like,
Fresh
but traditional.
vegetables, yeah.
And the special thing you can try in Kinarra on Wednesday and Thursday. Now we offering Thali for 2 with a bottle of wine too. Mm-hmm. So that's, you have all the basic tikka masala, tandoori chicken curry, and 3 vegetables. And a lot of people wasn't big fan of okra. When they start trying the Thali, they become fan of okra.
Your okra is excellent.
Same like your life can change.
I also like
Same
Thali, yeah.
bone-in fish, you hate it sometime, but you try this dish, you might gonna like it. Then you regret, oh man, I should have tried early. Same with okra. You hated okra, but once you try the Thali, you're gonna like it.
You just gotta have okra done right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I remember when you guys started offering Thali a couple of years ago, it was kind of at the height of when everyone was doing their flights. There was coffee flights and waffle flights and avocado toast flights and all this stuff. And then you came out and you offered Thali. And I was like, oh, they're doing a curry flight. Like, that's really interesting and really clever. But then you guys told me, like, no, Thali's like something traditional. Like, this actually comes from India. And Sarah and I are huge fans of Top Chef, and they had an entire episode that was dedicated to Thali, and each chef like had to make their own version of it. It was an amazing episode. It was really, really cool to kind of get the history and the heart behind that dish. I remember we watched that episode of Top Chef, and I was like, Sarah, we're going to Kinarra, and I'm getting this because I want to experience this thing. And I would highly encourage anyone to go get. I mean, it's a feast.
And they had to get judged by Padma Lakshmi.
Yes, we're going to talk about Padma. Don't jump ahead, Kim. We're going to talk about Padma.
Also, I would say for our Thali, just a shout out to all the nursing mothers. That's me. And it was I would look forward to it every single week because it was the only meal that actually filled me up. When you're nursing, it's just, you're a bottomless pit. And I would just look forward to every single week to just get a Thali and just sit and enjoy it and then I would be full at the end. The only time of the week. So
That's true.
It's one of those meals. It's so much food, but even when you get full, you're just like, this tastes so good. It's not going to, it'll be fine if it's microwaved later or whatever, but it's not going to taste this good. I'm just going for it. Yeah. It's that good. And it's Wednesdays and Thursdays still that it's available? Okay, I just want to make sure I was right on that.
Now it's actually available Wednesday, Thursday, all day. We don't close for the lunch.
Yeah, we're not closed for lunch anymore.
Actually, we serve lunch
happy hour.
Always.
Love it. People, go get your Thali. Okay, you guys have mentioned the chef's home table, but I want to talk about it a little bit more because anytime that someone comes into Kinarra, they can taste things that are special to your background and your childhood, Ashish. The menu is just littered with items that even have either your grandma and grandpa's name on it, or it'll say that this is a specific Kerala dish. But the chef's home table takes things to a whole new level. Just for anyone who doesn't know what that is or hasn't experienced yet, can you fill them in and just kind of tell us the vision behind what the chef's home table is?
Okay, let's go with the proper American English. Kim, go.
So Ashish,
you love just passing things off to Kim. You're like the point guard. You take the ball and you're just like, here, Kim.
Then
I'm the translator. No, I think we really wanted to do that when we saw the space that we're in now. We knew that, just even looking at the space, we knew that area was just perfect for a chef's table. And we, it took us a while to kind of decide what we're doing. Like, are we doing this, fine dining style where you give small portions and just tasting of things? It's going to be high end. Is it? And I did a lot of research on just what other cities are kind of doing for chef's tables that are kind of unique and pricing wise. Because Ashish also wanted to do it maybe family style, where we just bring the bowls out of things and everybody serves themselves. We kind of ended up somewhere in between those two, where it's fine dining versus just family style. Here are the bowls of food, everyone serve themselves. It's definitely not small portions, not at all. When Dan had it, they were extremely large, and like each plate of these 5 courses was a meal in itself.
It was basically an appetizer, a dessert, and 3 entrees.
Yeah. And it still kind of is. But I'm like, Ashish, you have to tone this back. Like, we cannot serve this much food. And then he's just like, no, Indian food, you don't serve it in small portions.
So this was a real experience to my home. So my mom or grandma they make it large, and they make sure you eat well. So I want to make sure all of the customers get enough food. So that's what I did it. But then I realized if it gets slow by slow, the course by course, people are getting filled. Then I was listening to Kim, and we reduced a little bit, but still it's a huge quantity. Mm-hmm. Good amount of food. You can go for a run between the meal and come back, so you'll be fine. So it's not a big deal.
We also hand out boxes.
I don't think you've experienced your own food. You're not going for a run in the middle of that, man.
No, I tell the people, the Regency Mall is open for walkers and running,
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough. So, so the chef's home table, there's actually a table inside Kinarra that is set apart kind of from the rest of the restaurant. And this is a meal for 8 people can sit at the table.
Yeah, 8 to 10, depending on how many.
Yeah, and I think you said is it still 5 courses?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's 5 courses, kind of an appetizer, basically, like 3 entrees and then a dessert. But yeah, the portions, like, normally when you do like a tasting menu, you go to an Okarant or, a V-Mertz or something like that, you're getting 6 or 7 courses, but they are, a little bit smaller. So by the end of the meal, you're filled up, but each individual course is not a sufficient meal. And like you guys have mentioned, that's very much not the case here. But Ashish, can you just go into that a little bit more? Like the decision to just indulge, like, is that something that's just that like culture of sharing? Is that something that's just so important to India where it's like, I can't serve small portions. I love people. I need to give them a lot of food.
So if you come to my homes, like, when I was really kid, we don't had much to eat because we grew up poor. But then slowly, when my dad went to abroad and then it was better. So I always seen, like, when you get up morning, you will get a tea. Then you go to temple and, then come back, you will have a tea with the breakfast. Then you get 11 snack and tea. Then lunch, then 3 or 4, you have another tea. Then dinner. So we will have that much course you eat at the home. So when we started that, I really want to, bring more experience to the people. So it's not a huge portion for me. It's an experience. So I don't know why the people are, like Kim is saying, I serve a lot. No, it's not enough.
You're a wild man.
So because you only gonna come for that, not every day, right? So I want to give you the best experience. So most of the dishes we serve, they're either my favorite or I hated while I was a kid. Then I regret, that was the best I missed. So it's like I gonna showing that, hey, thank you, mom or grandma. Like, you guys were trying to feed me the best, but I was being a jerk. So I said no, but now I gonna show the people you guys did actually taught me really good things. So I wanna share that with the people. So it's kind of that experience I wanna bring it and also showcase how the Kerala food is.
And honestly, that was my favorite part of the meal. Like, the food was delicious, don't get me wrong, but I loved so much hearing the story behind each dish and you kind of explaining, here's why this dish is important to me and why it's on this menu. Like, I still remember, this has probably been 6 or 7 months since I had it, and you told the story of one of the dishes. It's wrapped in a banana leaf, and it was a school lunch that your mom would make you occasionally, but it was like your favorite school lunch. So you would intentionally hide your lunchbox so your mom would have to make you this lunch that was wrapped in the banana leaf that you would take to school. Like, I just think that adds so much depth and character. Kim, just in your eyes, what is the importance in adding the why behind every dish as opposed to just saying, here's some delicious food, have at it?
I guess to me, this is kind of a joy of working together. Is those chefs' tables are kind of my favorite time at the restaurant because he's so happy and he gets to explain, why he loves the food and why he is doing this and why he works so hard. And I think Ashish is kind of a natural showman as well. So it's kind of when we're doing those together, it's like, oh, this is Ashish at his best, for sure. But I think the why, I think he's just kind of funny too. And I don't know, it's amazing to me that it's like every single dish just has a core memory to it. And I don't even know if I could probably make up a 5-course menu of memories, but to hear his is just great. And like I said, they're so tasty. I just love Kerala food, and I love the people. Like we have a customer who's a super, super regular customer, and his wife always orders chicken korma, and she was there with you. Shout out to Mike and Carolyn Johnson. But they're not here tonight, but she came, and I was so nervous. I was just like, you only get korma. and she ended up handling the spice, like, just fantastically, and she ended up just loving everything. I was just like, this is what it's about. It's, like I said, it's having people step away and, take those risks. So that just makes me really happy, too, when people are just, when they find something that they love. And I just think they're really fun. Like, we start with a drink and end with really shots. Fun. We have, I don't know, like, it's work, but I don't know. We have a lot of fun doing them.
I mean, you get bored every day. You're doing the same thing. So this is actually helping, me to do something different and showcase.
Spicing things up a little bit. You're not just cooking the same thing every day, but you're getting a chance to expand and do something different.
Exactly.
And we love getting and changing the dishes, changing the fish. And has that been really fun for you?
I never thought I gonna be doing this many years, but look, so I was into deeply even though my childhood, all the dishes what I had, I still have that memory, but I never intentionally do it. But now if I think or look back, I can still remember why I was a kid where I helped my mom or grandma, because that's all still I can. I don't know, somehow those dishes are in my mind. So it's I haven't done much, but we are trying to do more different, those kind of food, because you are not gonna find those in the restaurant, or not everybody gonna visit my home and trying, right? So we are in Omaha, so let me do something different then.
Well, that's what I love about your food, is because there are so many dishes on your menu, and especially at the chef's home table, that if not for you, no one in Omaha would eat that. There's no other place to get those dishes. You are getting a chance to introduce something to me as a diner that I would never experience if it weren't for you. How special is that feeling?
I mean, that's I'm so happy to see the people are, enjoying those kind of stuff. I mean, beginning I was kind of nervous, but now I'm not worried at all. People are there, they are trying to take that chances.
You've earned people's trust, honestly, over the years. They've tasted your food, whether it's the popular dishes or, then they're like, okay, he makes great food. I'm going to expand out and try some new stuff. And that you get to express where you're from and the people that you know. And I absolutely love that.
And our neighbor, Haley and Dylan, he tried more than anyone else in our restaurant. A lot of my secret dishes I make, because I sometimes cook 8 or 9 or 10 o'clock. Then I always go there, hey, you want to have a shot? You want to try? And
so that's the taste testers over there?
Yeah.
I think, yeah.
Sure.
You guys are doing God's work. Thank you.
Ashish also doesn't know how to only cook for a family of 2. So everything he makes is just huge portions.
I don't like cost controlling. I do, but technically
Not at home,
it's not
not at
my
home.
thing.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to control everything, and it's not going to be that good.
Yeah. So we often cook really, really.
Yeah.
He cooks just huge portions. I'm like, man, I love that biryani, and I do, but it's I don't want to eat that for lunch and dinner for the next 5 days. So yeah, we have to bring Haley and Dylan over. And it was really funny. They were like, man, I feel bad. We don't go to the restaurant that much. And I was just like, why would you? We cook for you all the time.
You can get it all for free in the comfort of your home.
Right. And Ashish often at home makes, maybe this will help push him to get it on the menu, but one of my very favorite things he makes is just masala grilled fish. It doesn't even matter the fish. It's so good. I think that they can attest to that. Our masala grilled. We make mackerel a lot at home. And it's just marinated and then just grilled. I'm sure that's actually not it, but in my eyes, that's just what he does. And oh God, I can eat 4 or 5 of the mackerel. They're so good, aren't they?
Yeah, the grilled fish is kind of really popular or everyday thing for us. Or I grew up nearby the river, so we get fish all the time. So fish is every day. So I wish we could do those kind of stuff in our restaurant, but still butter chicken tikka masala.
I feel like we could. I feel like we could put
I'm
a
with
masala
Kim.
grill.
Quit holding out on us, man. I want some of that fish now.
I feel like we could do just a fresh caught masala grilled of the day. It would just be, I could eat it all the time.
If this many people come to me and say, hey, or email me, we are coming this Friday, can you do it? I'm gonna, yeah.
Okay, everyone, you're not allowed to leave tonight until you come and talk to Ashish. All right, I want to talk about the new location. And when I say new, it's
a year now.
Newer. You guys have actually been there for over a year now. You moved in last November, but you were originally in Millard. It was a pretty small location, kind of in a strip mall. Now you're in Regency. This was a space that was built to be a restaurant, specifically. How did the opportunity arise to move to the new location, and what specifically attracted you to that area?
So we were looking for so many places to, expand. But the thing is, we found locations, so they are like a 1.5 million or,
So like for the build out.
Yeah,
if we
build
wanted
out.
to build out a new kitchen, the minimum would have been.
And you're going to get like a 5-year, 7-year lease, and it's no way you're going to do it because we're just doing ourselves. And also other thought, if I have that much money, I go home and I'm going to do fishing every day. It's going to return. But, so I don't have a choice. Then our relator found this place. It was empty and we went and looked.
It was just a broker. We had a really good broker.
Yeah.
And she found it for us. Like, this place has been empty for like 3 years. They're really eager to get somebody in. And
the first, I don't like it. I said, oh, this is not going to be good because of the view and everything. Then we left.
We didn't want to be fancy either. We still don't want to be fancy, but it's kind of forced upon us.
then we went home and think, and I said, oh, this is the best you could. As per your budget, this is the best. Then we took over and, it stand out good.
Yeah.
So we are glad that we are in Regency and, that location is making a lot of people happy with the ambience.
You can definitely serve a lot more people.
Yeah.
I'm really interested in this, though. From a diner's point of view, like when I saw that you guys were moving into a new space, my first thought was just awesome. That's great for them. They're expanding. They're going to be able to serve more people. But when I started to think about it, it's really difficult for you guys. You have to learn a new kitchen. You had to learn like an entirely new dining room and really a different style of service. You have to train employees on how to run the bar. You have to figure out, okay, now we have a patio. How do we operate that at the same time? Like, how did you guys just learn about this new restaurant and this new environment and start to adapt some of the things that worked at the original Kinarra and say, okay, maybe that's not going to work in our new space. We need to switch things up a little bit.
Still doing it.
Still doing it?
It was a baptism by fire. I mean, I had no idea how much wine to order. Literally, my employees would come up to me those first couple of months and go, which wine are we out of tonight? Be like, this one, this one, this one. Like, it wasn't great.
A lot of the things we learn from the customer, like they give the good feedback or 1-star reviews, those all help.
Yeah.
So
I mean, they're not great when you get those, but then it's like, oh yeah, we need to
they point out, that's all.
All of my staff really misses the Miller location, just because it was just so casual and so kind of easy. And I think the people that were making the trek out there were really just like, oh, we're just here for the food. Like, we don't care about anything else. And Regency, it's more for like an experience. So I think that's a little bit, it's just hard for my staff too, especially the ones that just kind of remember. I was thinking I still need to do this. I'm making a sign that says, make Kinarra Millard again. And then like they can like put in suggestions of like, hey, what was happening there that we could implement here? Because I would say our staff isn't as happy, right, Ashish?
When we change, yeah. But now everyone is liking it because
they make money.
Yeah, it's a big change for everyone because a bigger space and going, But now everyone is getting to there. It's like now, even though the Friday, Saturday, we don't feel like that crazy busy because everyone is used for it. Yeah. So that's a big change for everyone.
I remember like a few months in at Regency, they were just like, I just need a break. Like it's so overwhelming all the time. We just need breaks. I'm like, oh. Yeah,
we double the capacity and more people, and it's,
So how do you guys as leaders, when your staff is struggling with that transition, how do you kind of uplift them and keep them going in those difficult times where they're just like, man, I miss the old ways. How do you kind of remind them that, yes, that was great, but this is our restaurant now and we can do this?
I would say with food.
food just is the great thing that makes people happy. Always come back to food.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. If we can we do a staff meal, and then it's like, all right, if we can switch it from tikka masala, because that's like the cheapest to make, and if we can switch that makes them really happy. And then also, I was kind of lagging on birthday cakes. I used to get birthday cakes for every single birthday, and I kind of dropped off a little bit because, having kids too. So yeah, bringing that back. I'm like, okay, let's make sure they feel appreciated and
No, there is so many things we did, like a staff meeting, parties. So
we took them to Valas.
Live there, motivational because the other place, you just, it's like a small, you just few steps, you are done. But I told guys, hey, that's already gone. We are in a different, and the customer is, looking at in a different way. We are like in a fancy place. So it's gonna get better. So don't give up, just try harder. So day by day, you're gonna get there. So now they feel like we used to have like 4 people on weekdays. Now they saying only 3 people, and weekends 4 people. Now they only want 3 people. Weekdays they only want 2 people because they can handle that much rush. Before they were saying, oh, it's too much. Now they're saying, oh, it's not much anymore. So all we did, we hold on to them, and day by day,
Raises help too.
Yeah.
And what about you, Ashish? I mean, you're cooking in a completely different kitchen. What adjustments did you make going from the Millard location to Regency?
So this was the best kitchen I cook after 10 years because
really?
Once I left Dubai, I couldn't find a better kitchen than this. So I feel like I'm back to the basics where I was before. So like you are going from a tennis court to a football court. So.
Okay, I want you guys to take me back to last November, the first few days that you were open in the new location. Just whatever memory pops to the front of your mind, just tell me. Like, what do you remember most about those opening days?
I block it out.
I was like I can't even imagine that first night. I don't know, somehow we made it. Because it's a new system. So no one is familiar with toast. We used to have a clover. And reservation system. And we were closed for a month. Then there was so many people waiting for the to-goes. And we missed some to-goes. And dining room was full. And I don't know. It's kind of disaster.
I remember it was like Thanksgiving, and it was like right before Thanksgiving and we opened. And I remember Thanksgiving, it was just like, oh my God. Thank God we don't have to go in today.
Yeah, at some point I was, how we gonna handle? But now we are like, it's all gone. Yeah, it's like a normal life.
And I did say this. I was like, okay, we just have to weed out the people that don't know what we're trying to do and don't appreciate what we're trying to do, and then give it a few months, and then we'll have our regulars and people come back that appreciate that they can't get Vindaloo mild. My sister Delina, she's a server there, and she has a good story about that. She came up to me. I was working in the bar. She was like, this table's gonna be a problem. She asked for Vindaloo mild, and I told her no, and she ordered it anyways. And I was just like, oh, okay, all right. And then maybe we shouldn't shit talk, but yeah.
That's fine. No, we used to have a lot of complaint about the spice level because that location people go to another place and they said, hey, they make this for that. I said, no, we are not going to do it because Vindaloo means be spicy, and we are actually doing it only medium, from medium to hot, extra hot. So we cannot reduce that. So we have other option. So then people used to get mad, and also people used to get mad about lighting, so many things, but now everything
We've got that figured out. Turn down the lights and
the beginning it was really hard, but now
well, thank you guys for working hard and going through a lot to make that transition, because I mean the food was awesome at both locations. There's no question about it, and it was fun to dine in at Millard Kinarra, but I love just just the ambiance. I mean, it's a beautiful restaurant that you guys have now, and the plating that you're able to do with Ashish, I feel like is much stronger. I feel like you're able to offer more specials with that kitchen. So thank you for the hard work to get that going.
Thank you.
Kim, earlier you mentioned Padma. We're going to get into Padma stories now, because earlier this year you guys took a trip to New York and dined at Sema, which is one of the most renowned Indian restaurants around.
And Michelin star.
It's got a Michelin star, yes, which is a very, very big deal. We'll get to your fellow diner soon, but I want to ask you guys first, like, when you visit a restaurant like that, of that caliber, what do you learn from that meal?
You want me to go?
You can go. Yeah.
Actually, it's give me a lot of confidence, because I don't even see any old dishes like a tikka masala or butter chicken in their menu. They are just focusing Southern cooking, where the chef from. Few items, consistently good. So that's kind of, inspiration, because the people are changing.
You can look at it and you can see it's possible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's the main thing. And
their reservations are booked out a month in advance.
Yeah.
I literally made the reservation like as soon as the date became available, and it was later in the day, and the only time slots they had available was 5 and 9. That was it. And so we went at 9 o'clock with the 2 girls.
and they serve.
That sounds like fun.
That was actually a really, really fun day, because I have another story about like Ashish just being the best dad. He let me go to a Broadway show, and he took care of the girls in New York by himself. And he had some fun in Times Square with them and stuff. So and then we went to dinner. It's great.
Yeah.
So when you guys go out and have a meal like that, I'm so curious. Are you able to just enjoy it and have the food, or is are the gears constantly churning in your brain where you're like trying to pick out ingredients or say like, oh, this is really interesting. How can I incorporate this into our menu? Like, are you constantly in chef mode, or are you able to turn that off and just be like, I'm just eating tonight?
Both. Actually, I ordered some cocktails, so that's helped me to turn off my chef mode.
Alcohol takes you out of chef mode.
I start eating the food again. That's, both coming. But we really had a fun, because Sema and we went to Dhammaka too, same restaurant group. Dhammaka I was looking forward to since COVID, because they open almost close enough where we open. Then it's got popular, and they got the chef won the James Beard Award last year. So they're also serving the unapologetically Indian. So it's like most of the food you don't even see any restaurant in America, because forgotten part of India, that's their menu called. So it's kind of really inspiration.
Okay, so let's talk about it. You posted a picture. You got a chance to meet Padma Lakshmi that night. She was at the restaurant. For anyone who doesn't know who Padma is, she is, or was, the host of Top Chef for, I think, the first 22 seasons, however many. She's not the host anymore. She's stepped away, but she has several other roles. She has her own TV show now. She's a superstar. She's amazing. I'm a massive fan of her. I don't think I'd even be able to speak to her if I met her. What was that like, getting a chance to meet someone, of that caliber in the food world?
I mean, it was like
It's not like we got to hang out with her. We were like, can we take a picture? And she was like,
shook her hand and everything.
Yeah.
Like, it counts.
She's also a model, and she's insanely gorgeous. Like, you see her, and she's really tall too. She's like Sarah. Like, I'm just like, man. I was just starstruck. I was just like, were you at all, Ashish?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just starstruck.
I wish I could have had a high heel.
Yeah, she just soared over us. Like,
So the thing is, she was sitting on the corner of the restaurant, and we walk in, and I saw Padma Lakshmi. I was like, man, okay. Then I just waved her with my camera, and she said, yeah. Then I took, and I sent to Fambam, and it wasn't clear, and then I was waited. Okay, I know. It's almost closing time. She gonna leave. I gonna order more drink and food, and we gonna stay here. I gonna sit here. So she was leaving, and I said, hey, can I have a picture with you? She said, yes. And Kim was in the bathroom. She was coming. I said, Kim, come on fast. Then we took the kid, and That was fun. And she said, make it quick. Because there was so many other diners too.
Well, and I was excited too because like we have her children's book, Tomatoes for Neela, and so that made me really happy. I'm like, man, this is the author of your book. Like, so on that level, I was really happy too.
Yeah, that's a restaurant she go regularly. So maybe I can find out because I go to the manager number. You wanna go on there and one night you pop in and she's there and
Pop in, yeah.
Yeah.
Also, they said that Jennifer Lawrence hangs out there a lot too.
Wow.
I know.
So yeah, just go to Sema. You might run into a couple celebrities.
It's the place to be. Just make your reservation early.
Yeah, and be prepared to eat at 9 at night. As we wind down here, there's something that I'm really interested about with you guys, in that you have paired with many other restaurants or breweries to do kind of crossovers. And I'm sure I didn't get all of them. I looked through social media, and I saw you've done crossovers with Night Owl, Good Looking. I had that buttered chicken sandwich is ridiculous. Carter and Rye, Jukes Ale Works, and more. To you, why is it important to partner with other restaurants in the Omaha area?
because those are my favorite people and people restaurant, and there is so many. So when I reached out, they said, oh, they are ready. Then we want to support each other and grow same time. Show the people, hey, we are a team. We got you. So the people can also explore or try something different than their regular things. So next we're gonna do with the corner kitchen.
Corner kitchen?
Yeah.
Nice.
So we just had a meeting last week. We will see.
We went there we've been really bad about posting on our Sundays where we go out to eat. But we just had breakfast there the other day and it was so good. Oh
and I just met a Scott from Mission Avenue Barbecue. So
Yep, Scott Fogel is here.
yeah, we might gonna do something together. Even though I don't even ask him.
Oh,
we
come
gonna
on.
There's is it a place in New York that does Texas style Indian barbecue?
Yeah.
Right?
So
Oh my gosh.
we'll see.
We watch a lot of YouTube
So we are
videos
actually
too.
closed on Sunday, so I want to do Sundays a fun day. So that's why I met. And next I gonna do live cooking behind the scene kitchen tour. We supposed to be sell the ticket last week, then we got a private party. So that's literally you're gonna buy the ticket and you're gonna cook with me. So
Oh, wow. That's
So-
super fun.
We
then
need to post that.
yeah. So
Maybe
we
with
wanna
the
do something
tickets.
different and elevate Indian experience cuisine to different level, especially Kerala.
Yeah, but he was like, you get 2 cocktails with the cooking. And I'm like, shouldn't we give them after they're done with the knives and everything? Like the cocktails afterwards, that might be a liability.
Yeah, just have people sign a waiver. It's all good.
That's what he said.
All right, I got one last question for you guys. You have been open for almost 4 years now, which just seems crazy to say, but I'm sure it feels like even more to you. But your restaurant has undergone a global pandemic, a move, the birth of children, and so much more that I'm sure we as the public don't even know about, that behind the scenes you guys are just like, oh, I remember that too. As you look back, what do you think has made the Kinarra journey most special for you?
Okay, you can say that.
I think our kids.
Yeah.
The kids?
I think
Yeah.
the kids, yeah. I don't know.
And our team and the kids.
Yeah, our team. Our team, like, especially the ones, we just had 2 employees that have been with us for 3 years. They're actually at the restaurant tonight. So, I wish, Devin and Paris, they've been with us. And Bibas. He's been with
leaving.
us, like, he's graduating. He's been with us, like, on and off, like, kind of just helping us out. And now he's full-time for the past, like, 2 years. But he's from the very beginning. And my sister, she was there on literal day 1, the friends and family event. So I just think my employees just,
And Kim's mom, Kim's sister, they all came and did the dishwashing the beginning because we
mom used to like sit and take orders on the
Yeah.
phone.
But only the thing is take 4 hours to take the order, but she does good job.
But yeah, no, I was just talking about that with Devin, the one that's been with her for 3 years. I was just like, man, I really miss those Friday. Like it would be Friday night, and it would just be me, my mom, and Devin. And he was like, yeah, that really was just like the best shift.
I mean, the restaurant actually changed the way of, family and the connection and, place become a hangout place, and
Yeah.
after work we used to drink. Kevin, Jonas, my brother-in-laws, they all comes to the restaurant. We used to had a lot of parties during COVID, so it's kind of social life. So I really like after party always.
Yeah, same.
So
I know we have my cousin's in town because we have nobody needs to react, but like we have like my grandma's funeral this week. I'm just like, man, I hope everybody after the luncheon comes to Kinarra and like drinks and hangs out and stuff. Like that would be good. That'd be fun because I have a cousin over here and she's just like the life of the party. So I hope, Maria, you can spread the word. You can spread the word that that people need to come over. Come to Kinarra after the funeral.
I think most of the culture, like I grew up I see in the restaurant, smaller tea shop or restaurant in your neighborhood, everybody go there, hang out every day. And it's kind of so, some point that's like my goal too. It's like, regular people come hang out and it's kind of so much fun.
Well, you're definitely creating that because, Kinarra's food is fantastic. And if you just come and get it in a to-go box to go, you're going to have a phenomenal meal. But I do think there is you can kind of feel that family when you come in, that family feel to it and just the welcoming nature of it, especially if you do the chef's home table, which I would recommend anyone do. But yeah, you can come in to Kinarra anytime. It doesn't have to be a special meal. You can come in, have a fantastic time. You guys have created something really, really cool. I know it's taken a lot of hard work. I know that there have been some headaches, but you're here and you've done it. And I thank you so much for your hard work. Thank you, Kim and Ashish, for coming on the podcast tonight and for doing this. This was a blast.
Thank you so much. And thank you everyone for,
Omaha, as always, thanks for eating with us.